Hello, skateboarders! Welcome to TSM Live Show, episode 11. I'm your host, Tommie Zam. This episode, we're at Surfside Deli in sunny San Diego. We have industry talk with Tyron Olson, owner of Skateboards, a nonprofit interview with John Shell, founder of Upward Intuition. This episode's feature skater is DJ Martin. An interview with legendary Steve Caballero and music by Cali. You guys ready to get this show started? In the news and events, Black Label just turned Patrick Ryan Pro. If you guys haven't checked it out, check out his graphics. And skate shops, make sure you pick up Black Label just to get Patrick Ryan's new boards. Well, Shane O'Neill left Primitive, so I wonder what they're doing. What they did is they actually went out and got Tiago Limos, and now he rides for Primitive Skates. Let's check out his clip real quick.
So we at Macba right now. We're about to show Tiago his pro board. He has no idea this is gonna happen. Welcome to the team, vagabundo!
Nossa, você é foda, hein, G? Caralho, você falou que não para.
Chico Brenes has left Chocolate. That's a sad news, but I wish him the best of luck in whatever he's doing in the skateboard world. Bones has sent us an edit of Andrea Benitez of her shredding the streets of LA. Let's check this out real quick.
Wax fazia bolt in this video. It's just to make it look nicer, not to slide easier.
Enjoy this turn to Enzo, flow to pro. Congratulations to the pro ranks. Let's check out this clip real quick. Proper footwear just welcome Caswell Berry to the team. Well deserved, Caswell. You definitely kill it. And let's check out this clip real quick.
I wasn't arguing over the chemicals. Like I said, I was just trying to look at the color. I wish to see color. I am tired. Yep. Tired of living. Black and white world of prison.
Thief Trucks just dropped our good homie Will G's video part. If you want to know more about Will G, check him out on TSM Live Show Episode 9 on the E360 TV. Let's check out Will G's video part right now.
Choking on this dick, long stroke every day, bone smoke, champagne, glass toast, sucking on this sex pistol, about to blow her brains open. But the streets of drugs and clock dollars. Used to fuck with rap bitches, now I fuck with bad bitches. Fucking since middle school, and dog, you never had bitch. Dog, I came from rag to rich, now I got your bitch permission. Squirted on her lips, and when you're home, you gon' kiss her. Take the nigga head off like a hot mascot. Tell me why your breath smell like a burning bag of fat cock. Blowing on some apricot, crib like Camelot. Thinking of the days when I was counting up my sack of rock. Nigga with a scar face, cause you niggas rap a lot. Nigga, you a Sharpay, homie, I'm a log grenade. Thought them yellow diamonds had the nigga leaking lemonade. Nigga, you bitch made, but they need first aid. Got it wrapped like turban.
Well deserved. David Ray's just turned pro for Dog. So stoked for you, man. You well deserve this. Let's check out his pro clip real quick. Daisuke Ikeda has just won Tampa Am 2018. Well deserved, dude. You definitely killed it, man. I saw your last trick that you did while everybody else was celebrating and they're doing the count, man. You killed it, dude. We'll see you in Tampa Pro. In events, Red Bull just had their Curb King that went down at ETN. And winner was Ace Pelka. That dude killed it. He beat Jamie Foy, he beat Jimmy KO. Definitely 100% killed it. Let's check out Tyler Stewart's re-edit.
encouraging us. Thank you, Red Bull, for getting behind Curtain Culture. We had an epic day, and the judging was tough. But in the end, it came down to this. Third place, Nathan Coe, third place at $150. Right here. And then in second place, guys, Jimmy Coe. Yeah, Jimmy. Hey! Wow. Hey! Hey! What do you guys think it was? Hey!
Fucking eight! Tori Pudwill and Davon Song just launched their party for Thank You Skateboarding. It was a great event. It was held in LBC. Stoked for those guys. Let's check out Baby Cake's recap edit. Coming up, we have nonprofit interview with John Shell, founder of Upward Intuition. Let's welcome John Shell, founder of Upward Intuition. How you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm awesome. How are you?
Good, good. Yeah. So you flew out here. How was the trip?
Yeah, trip was good. Weather has been perfect.
Yeah?
It was actually like freezing the day I left. So.
Pensacola, Florida gets cold, dude.
Yeah, so, people think Florida, it's all sunshine and hot. But
and tropical weather and all that crazy stuff.
Cold, yeah.
Well, so let's talk a little bit about you, man. Like, what, you're from Pensacola, Florida. What was the skateboarding like in Pensacola when you were growing up?
Growing up, we always had a big skate scene, and there were guys that skated really well. There were a lot of guys that kind of came up skating in Pensacola that ended up in California to kind of chase the dream. When I was coming up, when I was their age, 5th grade or so, we had a good skate park. Skated there a lot. Got really heavy into it, and it closed.
What park was that?
Deep South.
Oh yeah, I remember Deep South. Yeah.
Yeah, and so no skate parks, and so the last close to 4 years, we've been working on getting a public skate park in Pensacola. For the kids, like we were, like, I mean, you grew up there too, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Pensacola, Florida. I mean, it was a great scene. It was a lot of good skateboarding, and a lot of, like you said, a lot of good pro skaters came out there and stuff like that. So yeah, it definitely was. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and we're all out here now.
Yeah, and partially because there wasn't anywhere to skate.
No, there wasn't. I mean, you remember? I mean, we always got harassed by cops skating the streets, and and like. No, on public park, like park that I skated was Myrtle Grove, and that got shut down, and and then the YMCA had a vert ramp, and that got shut down too. So I mean,
and a lot of people aren't into vert skating.
No. So, back in the days, '90s, there was a lot of it, and stuff like that. So, what got you into skateboarding? I mean, I know you do surfing, and
I started skating before, but I feel like Same kind of story with most everyone else that's been here today. Like, just kind of had a friend that that skated, and I got on a board, and didn't really take long before I kind of found out that was like my thing, you know, what I wanted to do, and realized that, you know, I'd kind of always be a skater. So,
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, did you used to skate the Bayview tennis courts back in it?
Still do.
Still do.
Yeah,
Dude,
all the time.
I love those
Whenever
tennis
there's
courts, man.
Not tennis players out there, which kind of rare. But I think they leave the lights on till 10 o'clock. So
I'll tell you this. I heel flipped the block 3 back in the day.
Really?
Yeah. You know how small that thing was, dude. That little runway is like.
It's not small, but it is a small run up. So that's heel flip
That was
down
back in the day, dude.
That's pretty impressive.
I think PJ Doucette has a footage of that somewhere, floating around somewhere around there.
You should find it for the show and throw it in right here.
Like right there.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your nonprofit. Tell us a little about it.
Yeah. It's called Upward Intuition.
Okay.
And we got started in 2015, right around the same time that we started working on the skate park.
Okay.
And it really kind of got started out of necessity. We started raising funds for this skate park. We kind of conceptualized the idea, and then once we decided, you know, we really want to do this, we planned this fundraiser, and we were going to do, you know, we had a silent art auction and live music and a little movie that we were going to premiere. And little did I know that you had to have a 501c3 nonprofit if you want to raise money.
Oh,
so
really?
we had planned this event and didn't have our 501c3. So it really kind of formed out of necessity. Yeah. And then, so that was spring of 2015. Shortly thereafter, I started teaching skate camp at the local shop. Okay. Water Boys, and that's where I met these guys.
That's where you met these guys?
Owen and Foster.
Oh, introduce these guys. Who's these guys?
Yeah, Owen Audello and Foster Audello, and they've been working hard on the project with me for the past, 3 years. And recently, their dad, mom and dad, Steve and Lara, they got stationed out here in San Diego. So I'm super bummed that they left, but it's cool getting to hang out with them now, and they're definitely gonna be back for the grand opening.
Hell yeah.
We just kind of got it started out of necessity, and then when I started teaching skate camp and seeing all these kids that basically were just like I was when I was their age, I think that was kind of the inspiration for what it has evolved into. Mm-hmm. And our mission is to inspire and empower the next generations. And to basically take a project like this, like the skate park, and use it as a kind of a learning opportunity to to teach them about working with their local government. These guys have been doing car washes, and they'll go door to door.
Dude, that's awesome, dude.
A couple other kids on the team have the past 3 years, I guess, and in lieu of getting any birthday gifts from their friends, they ask for donations for this, for this skate park. So they'll make a couple $100. That is just it's just kind of a drop in the bucket, because it's an expensive project, but it means so much. Yeah. And
so you're basically like teaching these young generation kids how to support their skate scene and get a skate park built in their city, right? Is that what you're like? One of your things you're trying to do?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how it started, and now, I kind of have had this epiphany recently that if you're on Facebook, if you're watching the news, if you're out and about, you constantly hear people complaining about this or that. The government's spending too much money here. Or, I need this fixed in my neighborhood. I want this. I want that. But going through this process of getting funding, and a little over $500,000 is private, and then the rest, we had to fight really hard with City Hall to get that funding.
I think I was there for one of your.
It
was tough, man. I mean, I went up there and spoke my mind, and
that was
and
cool.
just to hear them argue about this and this and this and this, it's like, dude, come on, man. Like, who cares about the parking lot?
But
But other than that, you're doing a great thing for the skate scene. You know?
I think the kind of the epiphany that I had though was that you know, the city has these budget hearings and these budget workshops, and if you're a citizen, that's your opportunity to go and say, you know, my road in my neighborhood has potholes, or you know, we really need a new soccer field here, or you know, we have this big group, you know, we really want to do a skate park. Nobody shows up to the meetings, but everybody wants to complain. So I think that's kind of the message that it's starting to evolve into is you have more power than you think. The kids have way more power than they think.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that government is this thing that you can't play a part in.
Yeah.
But nobody shows up to the meetings when you have the opportunity to play the part. You have the opportunity to go and speak your mind. And so I just to have the chance to you know, show them that, and they've all spoken at council meetings and showed up. And I attribute a huge part of the, you know, the success that we've had in getting our project funded to that.
Yeah, and you I mean, so what got you to find out the spot? So is under a bridge or a freeway or something like that?
Yeah, it's the location is interesting. It's just north of our downtown.
Okay.
And about 40 years ago, which is funny because the first skate park in Pensacola also closed around 40 years ago, and that's when that was the paved wave.
Yeah.
And that's when that group, those guys, really started, you know, kind of pushing for a public skate park, and here we are, 40 years later, just
doing
now
it.
getting it. But also 40 years ago, we have, well, Interstate 10. It runs all the way out here, but we have Interstate 10 in Pensacola too, and so Interstate 110 connects it to our downtown, and just before our downtown, it raises up for about 1.5 miles. So the city has had this plan conceptualized for years now to create this linear park that essentially is going to connect these two neighborhoods to the east and the west that were split apart 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And provide a walkable, skatable, active, art-filled corridor leading into our downtown and into our waterfront, which, you know, you've been back recently. You've seen that's
beautiful.
It's totally different than when you were there.
Oh, nobody went downtown.
Growing up,
it was like ghost town down there.
You didn't go downtown, and you sure weren't in those neighborhoods to the east and west of 110. But you know, it's really what we've learned. It was, you know, those were thriving neighborhoods at the time when they built 110, and right through the middle, those neighborhoods really started deteriorating. So the full linear park is 18 blocks. Our park is going to make up one full city block of that 18 blocks. And, you know, we want to connect those two neighborhoods back together and just have a great place to skate.
And what's the idea? Like, do you have a vision of what the park's gonna look like?
Yeah,
I know you said something. I know something in your thing. You said you're about a music venue too, stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's actually why I'm out here right now. Is was meeting with our skate park designer up in Los Angeles, Spawn Ranch, and so you know, the design we have now, I'm proud of. We put fair amount of thought into, but really we needed that design to go out and write these grants and to get funding. So now that we're pretty much funded, we really want to go back through this design with a fine-tooth comb and really make it an incredible park. But yes, to answer your question, that's one thing that's going to make our park a little bit unique, is that there's going to be an integrated amphitheater and stage.
Dude, that's badass.
That are also going to be skatable.
Yeah.
You're not going to look at the park and go, wow, that looks like a skate park. You know, we want it to be a beautiful city park that's where the lines between where, you know, the public hangs out and where the skate park is are more blurred.
Yeah.
So some nice green spaces throughout the park. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be a walking and jogging path around the perimeter. Awesome. There's an existing community garden on the site that's doing some awesome things. So
That's pretty bad. I'm excited. I'm ready to see this. And then, do you know when? Do you have an idea when you're gonna break ground?
Yeah, well, we just got funded, fully funded.
Congratulations, dude.
Yeah, thank you. $1.25 million, and it's we started selling T-shirts and hats with these guys.
Dude, that's awesome.
Kind of graduated to $500 and $1,000 grants, and then we got a
And you got Tony Hawk Foundation too, right?
Yeah, we got a Tony Hawk, the top Tony Hawk grant in the country recently.
Congratulations on that, dude. Hell yeah.
Tony's gonna be at the grand opening. Actually, Adam Mills, who is the Birdhouse team manager and filmer, he's from Pensacola.
See, there's so many people from Pensacola.
So I saw him recently when he was in town, and he's like, yeah, we're going to get the whole team out there for sure.
Hell yeah.
Clive Dixon, Jaws, Tony,
Jaws
all those guys.
You got to take Jaws to the most craziest spot. I think 9/11. Take him to 9/11.
Jaws is probably going to jump off the interstate or something.
Probably will, dude.
Yeah, that guy is nuts, huh?
Yeah, he's gonna do something crazy. That's awesome. I'm very proud, man. Like what you're doing for the skate scene in Pensacola, like that's what, for me growing up, started in Pensacola from '84 till I moved out here, like I don't know, '94, then moved back and forth and stuff like that. I mean, that's always what missing in Pensacola is like a good, solid skate scene. It sounds like what you're doing.
Well, that's what's ironic is because we've always had that solid skate scene from what
Yeah.
But we haven't had a skate park.
No, and people
they're everywhere. Like look around out here, they're around every corner. But for some reason,
they're like Starbucks out here.
They in Pensacola, they did not want a skate park.
Oh no, they hated us. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, but that's the reason they hated you. Probably it was because we didn't have a skate park.
Exactly. But I mean, it's awesome what you're doing. And one thing, what can you tell the viewers out there if they want to get a skate park built in their city? What good advice can you give these viewers to get a skate park built in their city?
Okay, I have one pro tip, and I'm looking back there right now. And so like once we kind of got started, got a little bit of momentum, started doing this skate camp. Some of the parents, some of the moms could see that I was really invested in this, and like. The kids were going to be a big part of it. So I had this group of moms come together, and they were just like an army, and they started calling themselves the Momtourage. And they would go to bat for me. They would show up to these events with all these kids, just packed the minivan full. And, you show up to the city council meeting with 75 or 100 people.
The city council people are like, whoa.
They're gonna listen. They have no choice but to listen.
I think
they look like jerks if they don't listen.
Yeah, and I think at the one I was at, they were like, wow, I think this is the most people we had at our city council meeting.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy.
They said, I had only a few people show up to some of those budget hearings and budget workshops, and they were saying that's the most people that they've seen at a budget hearing ever. And there was maybe 10 people there.
Yeah.
And, our city has a $239 million budget. That's where you go if you're, if you have a need, a big need, nobody goes.
Yeah. It's sad, People have voices and they want things done. It's like you said, you just got to go to those meetings and do it.
It's not, I think it's on the city too, because they'll hold those meetings at 2 p.m. on a Thursday afternoon or something.
They do it on purpose.
Make it very inconvenient for people to come down there and speak their mind.
Yeah, and you gave there's a clip, a little 3-minute video. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah,
we're about to watch.
We recently were awarded a $100,000 grant from the Gannett Foundation, USA Today.
Congratulations.
And thank you. There were close to 1,000 applicants nationwide, and all sorts of projects, not just skate parks. But we were one of two $100,000 grants in the nation, and it was based on this 3-minute video that you guys are about to show. So.
Hell yeah! Well, let's check this video out real quick. You ready?
All right. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It just brings everybody together. It's like a bridge. It brings our whole community. It's not just for skateboarders. It's for everybody,
As skaters, what we do is overcome obstacles. And it doesn't matter how naturally talented you are. If you want to progress, you got to put in the work, and you can't fake it. You might take thousands of tries to learn a new trick, and you're going to take some slams. But the real question is, you gonna get up and try again? When I was a kid and our skate park closed, it left us without a place to be. Skating in our city became a crime. I think kids need things to do and places to be. And if you treat kids like outcasts and criminals, it's likely that they'll become that. 3 years ago, we set out to change things by spearheading a public skate park in our city. We came together as a group and started to overcome one obstacle at a time. We wrote it down, shared our idea, and one door shut, we made a new one. When you're working towards a goal, all the obstacles, I think, are actually teaching you how to get where you need to go. The obstacles start to carve the path. They fuel the fire and become a way to transform weaknesses into strengths. And because of that, today, our project truly is more than just a skate park. It's a full city block designed to bring our community together. Walking paths, an expanded community garden, art, a space for food trucks and live music. It's a bridge between the two neighborhoods that the interstate separated 40 years ago. Not only that, it's the first domino of a larger linear park that will soon connect these two neighborhoods into our downtown. Kind of like in skating, in life, we've got a choice. Will we be blocked by obstacles, or will we advance through and over them? Sometimes the biggest obstacle is believing. These kids have watched this idea slowly become real, and they've been a huge part of it. We failed together and gotten back up time and time again. These kids aren't outcasts or criminals. They're leaders. They're engaged, and they now believe in the idea that they can make a real impact in their community and in the lives of others. Your support will allow us to build this skate park and continue inspiring and empowering not just these kids, but generations to come.
I was lost and lost my shape.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on, John.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's check out, coming up next is DJ Martin. Let's check this out. DJ Martin, what's up?
Hey,
Welcome
Tommie.
to the show,
Hey,
dude.
thanks for having me,
How you
man.
doing, dude?
Good, good. Glad to be here.
How's your day going?
It's going good, man. Just out here skating. Steve Cabs in the house.
Yeah?
Cruising.
Oh, yeah. It's a good day to do it here in
Yeah.
sunny San Diego, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful weather. It's not too hot.
I mean, it's snowing back home where you live, ain't it?
Hey, yeah, there's like 2 feet of snow on the ground right now. So being in a t-shirt is such a blessing.
Oh,
It's
I know,
sick.
dude. Well, let's get to it, dude. What got you into skateboarding?
You know, it's always been like that toy that you've had. Like I had a bike, I had rollerblades, I had a basketball, football. You always had it. So I always was like skating. And then, you know, I started getting more serious about it as I get older. I had a couple older cousins that skated, and I'd go skate with them. And then I moved into like another town. And when I moved into the other town, like every kid on the street was skating at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like just getting into it and moved into the right environment. And
Yeah.
from then on, I quit football, and it was on from there. And
yeah,
so yeah, it's been what, 15 years?
15 years?
Yeah, I'm not gonna stop
Oh,
now.
yeah. Congratulations, dude. Do you remember your first board?
Yeah, I have a photo of me. I was like 3 years old with my first board, and it was like just some Walmart complete plastic trucks. And that's how I remember it. My neighbor made fun of me because I had plastic trucks, and I remember like, oh, I wanted like the metal trucks and a real board. So like that desire to have the right stuff was like always there. Yeah.
And you grew up where at in PA?
So I'm like 60 miles west of Philadelphia in a little town called Ephrata.
Oh, Ephrata, okay.
Yeah, Ephrata, Pennsylvania.
What was it like skateboarding there?
Lots of parking lots.
Lots of parking lots,
Yeah,
huh?
stairs to jump down. We never had like any good skate parks here and there, so like I didn't get to skate a lot of transition growing up.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So definitely in the streets.
So you're more street skater.
Jumping off loading docks and downstairs and
Dude, that's
off
the best
roofs.
thing, dude.
Anything you can get your hands on.
And
You know?
did you skate Philadelphia when you were younger? Or?
Yeah, I got to skate Philly a few times. Made it to Love Park.
How was that?
Yeah,
dude? How was that experience?
That was it was a trip, man. You know, I was a little young, so I couldn't really get to skate it, but grinding the ledges and just being there and like knowing the history that went down, it was surreal. Just looking around, knowing you're.
And did you ride for a shop out in PA or anything like that? Or?
No, not really.
No.
Yeah. My homie had a board company that he did, Strength Skateboards. I did Strength Skateboards.
Oh, Strength? Yeah, I know those dudes, dude.
Yep, you guys know each other, so. Yeah, BFG. Shout out BFG.
BFG's cool shit,
He's the
dude.
man, yeah, so. Yeah, that was definitely, I was probably 13, 14. He was giving me boards.
How did it feel to get your first board?
Hey, that was such a trip. He said, hey, come down to my house. I got something for you. And his trunk was full of skateboards, and he gave me like 3 of them. And
you're like, this what?
The skate home was so exhilarating. Full mash, a handful of boards. Like, ooh, yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was
and
good.
then when did you make your transfer out here to California?
So I graduated high school. I got a job, and that lasted about 6 months before I like lost it and had to come out. It was like November, so it was starting to get cold back there around this time. So yeah, I had to get it out into the sunshine, get it, you know, there's nothing in Pennsylvania for me, so I had to move on, bigger, better things.
And how you like it out here so far?
Oh, it's so good. It's too much, man. It's like, when do you get it? It's like come to a deli and do the skate park in the parking lot, and it's cool. Like right now I live like right next to the new Linda Vista skate park.
How's that park?
It's amazing, man. It's out of my childhood dreams. You know, it's like, so getting to skate that every day and knowing it's not going to snow or rain or it's going to be sunny. It's so cool.
You wake up and you're like, dude, okay, it's sunny.
Yep, get to go. It's motivating.
And you skated street back in PA and then coming out to California and now you're skating parks. How did that transition work for you?
I'm still transitioning into the transition.
Really? I mean, you kill it on that park, dude.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, I like to, now that it's in my backyard, if I'm not skating it all the time, what's it there for? You know, so I try to get in the bowls more, and still definitely beginner. You see like 12-year-olds doing 540s, and it's so
insane,
like,
dude.
So it's motivating. You can see it's doable. So it's cool to enter that world of skateboarding, kind of start over and learn how to kick turn again.
And you have sponsors out here too, or what?
I got a few things going out here. Tyron with Scarred Skateboards.
Okay.
That we're getting that up and going. That's going to be coming soon. We'll be hitting the streets. I ride for Mark Ash Trick Grip, Bearings, Roughneck Hardware, Smoked Honey. Shout out on the plug.
Oh yeah, dude. You gotta get that hookup on that one.
Yeah, gotta keep the medicine rolling. And Slick Bricks. Shout out. Can't let the ledges stick.
No, definitely. You need to wax the curbs 24/7.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And so, I mean, you're doing great. I mean, your skateboarding is amazing. I mean, you're putting yourself name out here. I mean, did you expect to be what you're doing now? Back when you were like 13 years old, when you first started skateboarding, to what you are now? Did you expect it to...
It's all a trip, man. Like moving out to California, I didn't think to come out here and skateboard. Like that's not why I came. It was just Pennsylvania was done. There was nothing there for me. I had to get out of there.
It was a small town.
Yeah. So coming here, obviously the first thing I do is get a skateboard and go to a skate park.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just been that ever since. You know, it's all just. Get bored, go skate. You know? So. And
you seen all these, you know, what's your feeling about having like seeing videos filming the street and then all of a sudden throwing on social media? What's your feeling about that? Like, how do you feel about that?
You know, like, see, when I was young, I remember when YouTube first started and you could put your video part on YouTube, and that was like, not throwing it away, but that's not like the main media source you wanted your stuff on. It was just YouTube. So now it's kind of like that feeling again with Instagram, like, oh, that's just for Instagram. You know, so it's cool you get that, like, if you're trying to trick and you know how hard it is and how much work you put into it, you're not going to want to just put it on Instagram. You want to like save that and keep that and make that into a video part. And woo, Slick Bricks. Woo. Yeah, Mikey. Yeah.
Look at that, Slick Bricks right here.
Don't
dude.
let your ledge slick.
Make sure you get your shop has these right here.
Yeah, Slick Bricks. Yeah. So, yeah, man, it's all love. Lost track with us.
It's all good, bro. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, like skateboarding is becoming an Olympics. How do you feel about that?
And you know, that's something cool too. It's like, kind of, I feel like it's always been mainstream since at least I've started. We've always had the Gatorade free flow, and McDonald's had their team back in the day, and Pepsi skateboarding. So skateboarding's always went up and down, and right now it's on the rise, and it's about to be in the Olympics, which is as big as it's been.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Like, I don't know. I think it's bringing a lot of people and money into skateboarding, which is like, if we're at this high rise, like bring it all in as much as we can get, the better, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's all love. I kind of support it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
You're never gonna kill core street skateboarding. Kids who love it are gonna keep doing it, whether it's in the Olympics
definitely.
or not. So
yeah, definitely. But I mean, that's Elwood right there.
Elwood.
Elwood, here. You want a treat? Come here. Come here, Bubba. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on. That's Elwood. Come on around.
Yeah, go around.
Come on around, buddy. Look him run. Look him run. He has to get his little meat.
Yeah.
There you go, big boy.
Yeah.
But I mean, so I mean, with skateboarding changing and stuff like that, I mean, you've seen it like from 13 to now. So I mean, how do you feel about that?
Right. So
With progression and stuff.
it's cool. Like when I started, you know, like I was probably maybe in middle school, even high school, when Danny Way was jumping the Great Wall of China.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm still young, and it's still like, I feel like I haven't been there since the beginning. So it's always, you know, Bastian Salabanzi was kickflip front boarding 16s at 14 when I was 10, you know?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's always been at that super high level. So it's cool that now with Instagram, you get to follow who you want. It's not like just magazines that you have to look at. Like you get to see what your friends are doing and what everybody else is doing.
Uh-huh.
So like the outlet for skateboarding is much broader, which is cool. Like you get, you don't have to just look at the gnarliest tricks and be like, oh, okay. Like, you know, you get to watch what your friends are doing and feed off that. And, you know, so it's cool, you know, but yeah, I love Nigel's new part, man.
Oh,
It's,
that
you
part's
know,
insane,
you can't not
yeah.
great skateboarding.
Oh,
so
man, that part's insane.
So yeah, it's cool. Everything's here and
So
abundant.
who's your top 5 top skaters? Like your top favorite skaters?
Top skaters, man.
You got 5 now.
Yeah, 5. So wow. Definitely like my first favorite pro skateboarder was Ronnie Mullen back in the Tony Hawk Pro Skater game days. Like watching him do tricks that just didn't even have a name. You didn't know what was going on. You don't even. It's like fascinating. So like definitely Ronnie Mullen. You got to give him #1 spot for sure. But it's like. It's cool. A lot of people, different people bring different things into skateboarding. So it's like, always looked up to Tommie Sandoval.
Oh, dude, he's such a beast, man.
So down to earth and such a normal human. So gnarly.
Uh-huh.
He's like one of the gnarliest people on earth, you know, in my eyes. So yeah, it's like.
I mean, his frontside flips like.
Having like a
Kick
trick that
flips.
you can do that well down anything must be rad, you know.
Dude's insane.
It's cool. Yeah, so definitely Tommie's up there. I mean, Tyron, he's 42, going on 43. Like,
just killing it, throwing himself down big stuff.
Still
doing those long
going,
rails
you know.
and everything.
I'm young. I'm trying to keep up with him.
Think about these. You're skating with Tommie. You're skating with T-Bone. But what's it like, dude? Like those are your like guys you look up to.
It's definitely a different.
Were you like nervous when you first skated with them?
I mean, yeah, definitely.
Fan out a little bit,
right? You kind of don't want to say anything stupid. You want to like just kind of keep it to the skateboarding, and I have a hard time when I'm out with them to like not enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah.
So when I'm out there, it's like, you know, it's surreal. I'm like kind of just dreaming. It's like like couldn't have told my 12-year-old self that I'd be skating with these people, and you know, so
and doing what you're doing, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm thankful, man. It's so cool. Like, yeah.
So who's your last 2?
Last 2, man. Steve Cap, shout out.
Yeah,
you gotta give it to the legends.
Yeah,
right now,
legend,
you gotta get most stoked. And, I mean, Danny Way, let's give it to him. He's jumping 360 in the Great Wall of China.
Bionic man right there, dude.
Yeah.
Like broken every bone in his body and still killing it, dude.
Yeah, the only way for him to get better is to make bigger ramps. So it's like, that's
definitely true, man.
Yeah.
Well, you gave us a video. Well, tell us about this video you dropped for us.
Yeah, so it's for the Washed Up Warriors Volume 8 video.
And y'all had a premiere for that?
Yep, we had a premiere. It was down at Arts and Rec.
How was that premiere?
Skated the mini ramp, drank some beer.
Hell yeah,
bunch
dude.
of people. Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
And about this part, so was this anything special about this part? We need to keep our eyes out
just
for?
Fun times out skating with the boys, man. I feel like this part captured that really well. It's a fun part. Like, to go back and watch, it's like hard to critique it for myself, and that's rare. Usually I'm my hardest critic, you know what I mean? So, I enjoy the part. It's a fun watch, and I was working on a few different things at the same time, and those will be coming out, the Slappies video, and I got a couple other things under the belt coming, so.
Well, let's check this shit out, dude. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's check this video out.
Mid-tribe line hunger spell, and I can't even speak.
Are you good?
All right, DJ. You ready to what? Check out Cali Conscious?
Yeah, let's check
dude.
it out.
Let's check
They're
these
about to
guys
rip it
out,
up.
dude. Well, thanks for coming out,
Hey,
brother.
man, thanks for having me. This
Hell
was a
yeah, man.
blast.
Definitely. Hell yeah.
Tommy.
Take it to the streets. People love cause it's all a thing. If it was a Buddha, I would bring it to the beach. If people love cause it's all a thing. Love's all that you need. Sing now, love's all that you need. Sing now, love's all that you need. I'm in California, where the sun does shine. We're gonna have some feeling alright. All the positive vibes. I'm coming on way, I'm coming on way. Just another beautiful day.
Let's welcome Tyron Olson, owner of Scar Skateboards. How you doing, dude?
I'm good.
Oh, and we got David Frey over here. How you doing, dude?
Good to see you again.
Welcome, dude.
Well, thank you.
So I heard you had a long night last night, huh?
Long night. I got a new job.
Congratulations on that, dude.
Thanks. 1 a.m. to 8:30.
Well, thank you for making it on the show.
24-hour dispensary.
I feel you, man.
So,
I don't feel you on that end, but I feel you like.
Yeah.
That's
I'm pretty tired.
I know. But let's get this thing started, dude.
Cool.
So how'd you get into skateboarding?
How did I get into skateboarding? Well, in Madison, Wisconsin, back in probably 85, I had a pink Kuwahara freestyle bike. And I was down at these slam walls, these banks. And I saw these, it's a college town, UW Badger, University of Wisconsin. Some dude was skating the bank, and I said, can I try that board? And it just, I swear, like a lightning bolt, like, you're skateboarding. And I like literally traded my $300 Kuwahara bike for that town and country board for like a week. And I got home, and I was like, where's that bike? I was like, I'll get it. She's like, you gotta get that goddamn bike back. I was like, I want a skateboard now.
Yeah, if you know Tyrone's mom, you know she was pissed. You know his mom. You know, she wasn't happy about
that. That's how I got
that.
started.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
And then you just started off with that? Like, what was your first sponsors? Was it mostly out in Wisconsin, or was it here?
Wisconsin.
Okay.
85, I rode for a California Connection skate shop.
Okay.
This guy named Dan Marsden owned it. Actually, it was me, Dave Mayhew. Sean Cliver was on there for a moment before he went to Cali.
Okay.
My cousin, and a couple of other guys. We did a demo in my middle school.
Yeah.
Did some demos like street fairs
How
and
was
stuff
that?
like that. It was cool. It was cool, like launch ramp days. They let me go home. I broke my board doing like a 360 off it. I had a Rob stop. I remember I broke it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they let me go home early, and I went to the shop and they gave me a new board. I was like first, I don't know, like having a show on a skateboard, like sixth grade.
Damn, so they're just like, hey, just go home, don't worry about it.
Yeah, because I did a show or whatever. Like,
hell yeah, dude. And then that's what started your skateboard career, like basically.
Well, that's why I just fell in love with skateboarding.
Yeah.
And I just pretty much dropped baseball, football, everything I did as sports.
Oh, you played baseball? I didn't know you played baseball.
Yeah, I played baseball.
Pretty good?
I made it to All-Stars.
What?
I'm a pitcher. Lefty pitcher, man. Striking fools out.
Man, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then, that happens in the spring. I remember the coach called. He was like, you ready to play again? I was like, it's nice out. I'm going skateboarding. He's like, come on, man. Come meet me at the field. I'm like, I think I'm going downtown Madison.
He was probably pissed about that, huh?
Yeah, I couldn't hear in his voice that he's like, lost a good, somebody could play.
Yeah.
Were you the only mixed kid on the team?
Probably.
Exactly. He lost his black dude. That's sad.
He's like, oh, shit.
Probably. I don't really remember.
And when did you come out here? When did you start coming out?
I moved out here in 94.
94? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's right when San Diego started, like, getting huge out here,
Yeah, it was not that many buildings downtown. It was like 5 buildings. The rest was like warehouse and Horton Plaza.
Yeah.
The rest was just tore down warehouses.
And then did you did what everybody did, backpack on, just came out to St. California?
I was the first one to come out here with the crew. I got like $1,000, and my cousin was living in Hollywood, and his friend was gonna go to live with him there, and I jumped in the van, and I dropped me off downtown San Diego.
And you were just like, hey,
I'm make it happen. And my mom was like, where you at? I'm like, San Diego. She's like, what the fuck? And then she flew out. Got a $300 hotel, $300 a month.
Wow.
A room somewhere to put a key in and sleep.
She didn't want
Instead of sleeping outside.
She didn't want you to sleep on the streets.
And then I went back to continuation school.
Uh-huh.
Got my diploma at this place down in Market Street.
Oh, congratulations on it, dude.
And then then I got sponsored by.
Who was your first sponsors out here?
First sponsor was Evil.
How was that?
Evil Skateboard. Cool. It was a blessing. Did the three-song part for the Still Life.
What?
First pro part.
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't know.
What was it, YZ or AZ? YZ?
2 AZ songs.
Yeah, 2 AZ songs. Jesus.
What was the first one? Public Enemy?
Yeah,
yeah.
That was a long one.
Public Enemy, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then after that, do you have other sponsors after that?
Then they had Evil shoes, Evil skateboards, Evil snowboards. I remember I was like, it's too much damn Evil.
Did you get all the Evil stuff? Did you get snowboards?
Yeah, I got all that shit.
You got snowboards.
I got a snowboard.
Yeah. You also those on the side?
No. I was taken care of pretty well, so I didn't really have to hustle anything on the side.
Yeah. And then you rode for Osiris. How did that start up?
Well, they had Evil shoes, Evil skateboards, Evil snowboards, and I remember just be like, let's change the name to something else.
Yeah.
So Reed and I don't know who else was there, but we were just coming up with thoughts. I think Reed was like, Osiris. And I was like, oh yeah, let's run with it, Sounds good. You're my homie. Fuck it.
Hell yeah.
Those are the Wu-Tang days. You know what I mean? Those are the
yeah.
days of Wu-Tang and Old Dirty Bastard and all that.
Yeah.
How was it? So tell you good stories you
cracking.
can tell about Osiris?
Good stories to tell about
Yeah,
Osiris?
being on tour and stuff like that.
We toured all over Europe, all over Canada, went to Japan, I've been to Australia.
New York and back.
Yeah, we did a U.S. tour.
Okay.
The big bus, the infamous bus tour.
Tourist stories? Like Reed and Smolik and
Well,
all
we
those
took
guys?
one of the crazy ones. We had two 18-seater vans pulling two U-Hauls with ramps in them from here to Maine.
Oh,
so every skate shop we stopped at, we pull the ramps out.
Okay.
Like this and shred.
Yeah.
And then at night, we had like Suge, a couple friends perform. At a
Instructor
bar,
Ruckus
Oh,
from
shit.
back in the day.
Ruckus.
You know Sugar Bear, of
Yeah, I know
course.
Sugar
You know
Bear.
Sugar, of course.
Um,
Tara knows Sugar.
so yeah, I mean, it was wild, fun times.
Oh yeah, dude. And then after Evil, what'd you do after that?
Arcade, we changed it to Arcade Skateboards.
Okay.
And Jason Rogers was the team manager. And
Gumbo video.
then they made the Gumbo video.
That video was sick, dude.
Right on.
Yeah.
We had, like,
Moore.
we had like that porn box.
Yeah.
VHS porn box.
Exactly.
Big old box.
Yeah.
That's good. And then after that, what'd you do after that? Anything else or any other sponsors?
Germ Skateboards.
Yeah, I did Germ Skateboards.
Okay.
After they booted me from Osiris, I decided to start something up. And we made a Get Dirty video.
Okay.
That was doing pretty well. And then just issues,
Yeah.
money issues and shit. So
You were just like, I'm out of here.
yeah, just forget it. And I went to culinary school.
You went back to Wisconsin, right?
I went to culinary school and I moved to Utah for a while, where my daughter's at.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's about the time you had your daughter. You know. That
Yeah,
was like,
so there was a lot of things going on at that time.
Yeah.
All at once. So I moved to Utah, worked at ski resort, cooking up there.
Okay.
Snowboarding, kicking it. Ran it up, met Adam Diet. Adam Diet out there and Lizard
Yeah.
King and skated with those guys out there.
Okay.
Then I don't know. I just went back to Wisconsin after that mission.
What'd you do? Would you do culinary school, stuff like that? Not culinary school, but you did
I did
caterings?
catering back in Wisconsin at the Center Plate Catering Company.
Really?
Yeah, for like 8 years.
And
Did
then
that.
you rode for companies too in
No,
Wisconsin?
I didn't. Well, kind of. Struggle Skateboards. I don't know if you remember Struggle
Yeah, I
Skateboard.
remember Struggle.
Ruben. And then his brother Diego.
now Diego's like one of the
Diego's
biggest dudes in the world.
Yeah, you know him. Yeah. I remember he was a little kid. I was on Struggle. They asked me to ride for him, but they're like sending me 2 boards a month and living in Wisconsin with the rough ground. That's like 1 weekend. Your boards are done. It's like, dude, he's like, I can't say no more. I'm like, I just go to the shop. You do one trick trip board. I mean, ground's fucked. I mean,
So
it just didn't work out. I don't know. It was kind of cool, but.
And then you came back to San Diego and you did a bunch of other things, like you wrote for other companies too. And then now you did some stuff, Washed Up Warriors, dropped some videos.
Yeah, the Woo Crew video.
Okay.
The Washed Up Woo Crew video. We just did volume 8.
Tell me about that. Y'all had a premiere for that.
We
How
had
was
a
that?
video premiere just at, where was that video premiere?
Logan.
Oh yeah, Logan at the Arts and Rec.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good turnout. Every year I drop a video. I bought my own camera gear and laptop, Final Cut 10.
Yeah.
I was pretty much tired of waiting for somebody to film.
That's the worst. Because you're sitting there waiting on the clips, like, hey, I need the clips.
Oh yeah, if you want your footage, it's taking forever to get. Or skating's like art. You feel like you want to draw something. You have that urge, you want to go do it. And I'm like, let me wait around. By the time they show up, you're like over it.
Yeah.
I got this idea. Let's go. You can handle business.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I like it. It took a while to get it down. I'm not a champ at it, but it's fun.
Oh, dude, your edits are great, dude. I
Oh,
love the
thanks.
videos, man. I saw number 8, dude. That was good, dude. I mean, all you guys killed. I mean, being 43, dude, like, how do you do it? Like, jumping down stuff, man. Like, 43, that's insane, dude. Like, I mean, you're doing, like, big-ass rails. And, dude, that's mad props, man. Like, I mean, is there a secret you do? I mean, something? I know you love the hot tub. I know the hot tub's your thing, dude. You do your bubble bath thing.
Epsom salt bath, jacuzzi tub.
I know you love
Where
your
it's
hot
at.
tub, man.
I don't know. I guess I just don't stop skating before you like start having slack or feeling wobbly.
Yeah.
Just keep up with it. And I think everything just, you don't lose nothing.
Yeah.
Like I stopped a few days because of work or something. I get on my board. I'm like, what, man, let me circle around for a minute. Let me cruise around this park for a minute, like everything all weird. Like, damn, this is not right. Let me skate more.
Well,
So you don't preserve your body, huh? You don't freeze your body a little bit or anything like that?
Just eat right.
Eat right?
I guess. Get some rest.
Get some weed, get some
Get
stuff.
some weed.
There we go.
Fucking get some edibles.
Hell yeah, dude.
Sleep.
So tell me a little about this company you started, Scarred Skateboards.
Scarred Skateboards. Yep, I started that. My cousins are really good artists.
Okay.
They're like, you can't get them apart. They've been drawing and doing graffiti for years. So I decided to, get their artwork out, get them on the boards, and we'll make something happen with my fam.
Yeah.
So things are looking good. We just got the transfers in. We got 3 different graphics coming out, and a lot more coming soon. And just keep doing what I love,
Yeah. And when will we see the boards hit the streets?
You'll see them in like a month.
Month?
A month. They'll be in the streets.
So you hear that, Skate Shots, man.
Yeah, they'll be in the streets in a month. Start Skateboards.
Hit up Tyron Olson,
Harpoon
man.
the balloon.
Oh my God.
So I heard about this story, how you met your girl. Tell me about this story.
My girl Tara?
Yeah.
Well, we dated. Well, we.
Oh, sorry about that. Let me get you off.
No, it's just silly because I'm kind of speaking
God.
and that extra shit. But no, we dated when I first got on Osiris, and I was like drawing the picture of a shoe on a piece of paper, and then we separated because I was traveling a lot. She was school, but then we got back together. 6 years ago? I went to the right place at the right time, and I saw my baby. I was out. So, yeah, everything's been good.
And she still has the drawing and everything?
No, but she had one of my business cards.
No way.
Oh. She did. B50 on that ledge at UCSD, the gap out the ledge, Tom Penny frontside flipped over.
Yeah.
There's like a sequence.
And she still shows it to you every time, huh?
Well, she busted out. She's like, I saw your card. I'm like, what the hell?
A little skateboard Romeo and Juliet, huh?
Oh, hell yeah.
Awesome.
Well, T-Bone, thanks for being on the show, brother.
All right, thank you, man.
Thank you, man. David, thank you for
Love
being
you
on.
guys.
And make sure you guys
I
pick up
gotta
his
let my
boards.
ribs heal. I got smoked the other day. So I'll be off my board for like a
Carl,
month.
shout out Carl.
We got a very special guest, Steve Caballero. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
How's your day going?
It's starting out slow. A little tired from last night.
Yeah, I
but
know
it's
you had
good.
an art show, you had music bands, you had everything going on, huh?
Yeah, I kind of triple booked myself yesterday, but I was able to pull it off.
Well, before we started the conversation, I got you something. It's a way of saying happy 40th anniversary of Cal Peralta, man.
Thanks,
a
man.
little card that everybody signed
All right, man.
for you and stuff like that and everything. So for everything you've done for
sweet.
skateboarding, thank you, dude.
Spider-Man.
I knew you liked that one.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Yeah, so
Appreciate
everybody
it.
that came here to the show all signed
cool.
it for you and everything.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you, man. Thank you. So let's get to it. So what got you into skateboarding?
I wasn't a very good BMX rider.
Okay.
I really wanted to race BMX, you
Uh-huh.
know, and I went to one race, and I've always been pretty short for my age, so I noticed that the guys were like 2 feet taller than me that I was racing against.
Yeah.
So I did one race, and I just kind of was wise enough to be like, okay, this is not going to work for me because
yeah.
everyone's a lot faster, and you know, I've always been kind of super competitive, you know, and if you're gonna be in a race or be in a contest, you go to win, you
Yeah.
know, or why even bother entering? So I learned at a real young age that the BMX racing thing wasn't going to work, and
Yeah.
you know, I was a huge fan of Evel Knievel, you know, and coming from a family that wasn't really into motorcycles, a BMX bike was kind of the next thing to try to make it look like a motorcycle. And
Yeah.
then we used to do the thing where you put the cards in the spokes to make it sound like a motor, and then like have these little plastic fake tanks and look like a gas tank. So I tried everything to make my BMX bike look
Yeah.
like a motorcycle. And you know, that didn't really pan out. So a friend of mine had a couple skateboards at his house that I used to try to, you know, race with and ride BMX.
Yeah.
And he had a couple ramps and stuff. So after trying his ramps and you know, kind of feeling like this is kind of like more my style, you know,
Yeah.
something that, and it's still, you know, skateboarding was challenging as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, at the time I was around 12 years old, and you know, going to the supermarket, getting Slurpees, candy, reading magazines,
What
like
was your
skateboard
favorite-
magazines.
What was your favorite Slurpee?
Oh, probably like blueberry or cherry.
Did you mix
know?
it? Did you do the suicide?
Oh yeah,
Slurpee?
always. but like, you know, when I'd go in there, I'd go in the magazine rack and I'd see Skateboarder magazine, I'd see Monster magazine, and the Skateboarder magazine I'd look through and I'd see that these guys were building their little ramps and stuff, and SoCal was having these little skate parks being built, you know, in the late 70s. So that kind of caught my eye, and so I got my parents to buy me a skateboard, and you know, and just started to learn how to roll down the driveway. I mean, you know, I've been skating since boards were like with steel wheels, clay wheels. I mean, I went through that whole transition, even though I was kind of a late comer, and the urethane wheel was already out. I mean, I started off on a skateboard with steel wheels.
Yeah, I remember my parents, I mean, they were from the 60s and 50s, and they had like old skateboards with the steel wheels and stuff. And I think they still have them at their house.
Yeah, I have a huge collection of that stuff. So it's cool, you know. So I went through that whole transition of like equipment, you know, getting better equipment until I got like urethane wheels. I mean, I had wheels where the ball bearings would fall out.
Oh,
you know, like you had to tighten the nut. If it wasn't all the way tight, the ball bearings would fall out, and then I have to go there and like pick them up, you know, from the ground and put them back in the wheel. So I started when there was like not very much progression in the sport. I mean, pushing down the street, maybe doing a tail skid and see how long you could skid on your tail for, or just getting your board and flinging it as far as you can and seeing how far it can fly. I mean, that was a trick back in the day. You know, so I've seen the progression of skateboarding go from nothing to what it is now.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty crazy, dude. Do you remember your first board? Your actual real first board?
First skateboard was one of those roller skate 10s with the red with the steel wheels. Then I got a board that was a GT and it had clay wheels on it. And then like my first real board, I would say real board, was a Type Page freeformer board that I bought at the sports store, and it was in a box, and it had grip tape on the top. You know, because the boards I had didn't have grip tape. You know, I used to go to the hardware store and get like this like weather stripping stuff that you'd put on steps so you wouldn't slip. We'd put that on the top of a deck so we could have our shoes grip. But a freeformer board. You know, wood mahogany board with urethane wheels. That was pretty much my first actual skateboard.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen like how you've been doing it for so long, so you've seen skateboarding from when you first started to now. So you've seen it like progress, like crazy.
Big time.
Yeah. I mean, people doing crazy tricks that you're like, wow, that's insane, you know?
Yeah, so I have a really big, strong appreciation for skateboarding because I've seen it from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, and I see where it is now, and I still get the same excitement as when I first picked it up.
That's awesome.
You know, and it's still challenging as ever. But one of the best things that's happened to me in my life is having kids and having a son that's attracted to skateboarding just like I did. And his name is Caleb. He's 11 years old, and there was a point where I started him like a really young age, like at 5, till now that he's 11, that he's finally kind of got the bug and got the passion for it.
Yeah.
And I see it, and it's really cool to enjoy that with him. So that right there brings me a lot of joy, and I think that's my biggest accomplishment in skateboarding is to, you know, have a child that actually appreciates the same passion.
That does the same thing like football, like a dad that plays football.
Yeah.
He has you want his son play football. Now you guys, your son wants to skateboard. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, that's a parent's goal is to have your son or your daughter follow in your footsteps and, you know, and just share the same passion. So, I mean, I have a lot of knowledge and wisdom within the industry, so I can kind of prepare him and let him know what he's, you know, gonna have to look forward to, you know, and hopefully he doesn't make the same mistakes that I do, you know. But you know, everyone's different. Everyone, you know, has to sometimes like figure those mistakes and things on their own. You know, that's just part of being a parent, you know, and the struggles you have with your kids?
No, definitely. I don't have kids. I mean, my kid's this one right here. I mean,
He seems pretty chill.
I don't know if he can skate, but you know, he just chills.
He seems chill.
And when like you got on PAL? What year did you get on PAL?
I got sponsored by Pal Peralta in 1979.
And how did that become? Like, did you like skate a lot of contests? Did you do like, were you just skating down the street and they were like, hey, we want to sponsor you? How did that work out?
Well, back in the late 70s, competition was a huge thing. And that's kind of how you got noticed in the industry.
Yeah.
And if, you know, I would see like, you know, people like skateboarders in the magazines where they knew photographers and they were going out shooting photos like in backyard pools, at banks. But there was a competition element that was a part of it that helped elevate you and get you noticed.
Yeah.
And that's how I got noticed. Was I started off competing at a local skate park.
Okay.
Which kind of got me on the team.
Was that Del Mar? Or?
No, I'm a NorCal guy.
Oh, NorCal, okay.
So I've been born and raised in Northern California for like 49 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, I just moved down south 4 years ago.
Oh, welcome down south.
Yeah, thanks. So I was a NorCal boy.
Okay.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches. There we go.
Thanks, man. So a skate park opened up. When I first started skating in 76, there were no skate parks in San Jose, NorCal. And then around 77, 78, some skate parks were built. Winchester Skate Park, Campbell Skate Park.
Yeah.
But Campbell Skate Park was more family oriented, and they were doing a lot of things with families and trying to encourage parents to come out and participate with their kids. So they have competitions every week.
Yeah.
And the competition that I was joining was trying to make it on the team, the Campbell Skate Park team, because if you got on the team, then you got to skate at the skate park for free.
Oh, hey.
See, back in the 70s, all the skate parks were, you had to pay to skate. There was no such thing as a free public skate park anywhere in the whole world.
I mean, skate for free, that's like giving right there.
Yeah, I love skating, and it was, you know, in the 70s, it was pretty expensive to skate, you know, so... And the reason why I was attracted to Campbell Skate Park was they were doing this deal where you'd pay $30 a month to skate, which was like, it was probably like about $275 for a 2-hour session, you know, to skate every day. But to attract people to their park, you get a month pass for $30, you could skate for the whole month. And I did the math, like that's $1 all day.
Yeah.
So I had my parents buy me memberships there, and I started skating all the time, started learning tricks, and then I eventually competed and competed well enough to get on the A team, which I earned free skate time, which free skate time meant go even more. And so every day after school I'd take the bus, and either my mom would pick me up or she'd drop me off. I did a lot of bus rides by myself all the way across town to get to the skate park. And I was determined to be good at skating. You know, I just liked the feeling that it gave me. I liked the attention I got from it, you know. And I just liked the fact that I was able to learn how to focus and be passionate about something and progress and be good at it, you know. And so I kind of found my niche of what I wanted to do for my life. I mean, I tried baseball, football, soccer, you know, a lot of team, school sports, and they just, none of them really clicked for me.
And with skateboarding is not a team sport. It's just, it's our freedom, you know, it's what we love to do. It's our artwork, you know, and that's what a lot of people don't get, you know? Yeah,
definitely. Skateboarding is something that you can put in a lot of time and benefit, you know, from it, or you don't put in a lot of time and not benefit from it. I mean, it's just really, you're your own boss when it comes to like progressing and how much time you put into it. And so there's like no one really telling you or saying, hey, you need to do this, you do that. You kind of just work out on your own pace, you know? So that's what I loved about it. So getting on the Campbell Skate Park team, we would go around to other parks because other parks had their own teams. And a lot of skate parks were being built in the 70s, and we kept winning every competition in every skateboard park, which then we got invited down south, down here, which is really cool. Escondido was having a national championships, amateur.
Escondido, that's pretty crazy.
And Steve Cathay from GNS Skateboards and Stacy Peralta from GNS Skateboards were the head judges.
Oh, okay.
So that's
were
where
you
I met
nervous?
Stacy.
Were you nervous when they were up there, or were you very calm?
I was really excited to meet those guys because I read about them and seen them in the Skateboarder magazine. But I wasn't nervous competing only because I had competed prior to that.
Yeah.
Many times, so I already had that, the skill and I had the what's the word?
Compassion.
The word I want.
That's all right.
I'll get to it, but I was very comfortable.
Yeah.
In a competition setting, so
you think from being a BMX, being in competition in BMX and stuff, that helped you out a little bit too?
Well, just all those park competitions at Campbell geared me up.
Yeah.
And gave me the practice and the ability to compete and skate in front of people and not be embarrassed or scared.
I remember my first one. I was nervous. I was like, I'm not doing it again, dude. I'm done.
Yeah, man, you can take competition many ways. It can be something that deter you from wanting to enter them, or give you this like hype to want to progress and do better at them. And I would always take the high road, and it always made me want to be a better skater. I took the more positive route. So the word I wanted was experience. It gave me the experience to compete. So after the competition, I got 5th place in that competition at Escondido. And Stacy Peralta approached me and he said, "Hey, my name's Stacy Peralta. I'm a professional skateboarder. I'm starting this new company with this guy named George. I really like you to be a part of it." And I didn't know anything about it. He's like, "It's going to be called Pal Peralta." And I said, "Well, I don't know, man. Maybe I have to ask my parents if I can join your team." I didn't know anything about being on a real skateboard team.
Yeah.
So then he said, "Well, take your time. I'm going to be up north where you live, and I'm going to be competing in a pro contest at Winchester Skate Park.
Okay.
And you can give me your answer there." So I thought about it and asked my parents. They said yes. So when he came up, I gave him my answer. I said, "Yeah, I want to join the team." So that was
awesome.
1979.
Wow, that's awesome. And then, how was it like filming Bones Brigade videos? I mean, I remember watching them when I was young, and that's what got me into skateboarding. Is I grew up with like Scott Stanton, Zorlak guys, and Pete Kelly, and the guy that got me into skateboarding, Arthur Adams. He used to go to his house, VHS tapes and copies of Bones Brigade videos, and watch them every day. And I mean, that's what I grew up on. Like, how was it filming those videos? Like,
it was pretty unique. It was very. It was all new to us, actually.
Yeah,
really? It was something that we were kind of trying out ourselves, because most of the time, if you saw skateboarding, if you wanted to see it in action, it was like sequences in a magazine. It wasn't really, there was nothing that you could watch on TV unless you did like Super 8 camera filming and you projected it on a projector, which I did a lot, back in the late 70s. But it was all new to us. The VHS recorder machine was new. Stacy had these huge cameras that they filmed,
the
like
dinosaur ones.
Yeah, with the big recorder on the side, backpack. He used that. Those were like full-on TV station cameras.
I bet you his back was like,
oh, it was heavy. I think he had some guy carrying it as well.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That was the start of filming. So we were experimenting with that, and we would just skate, just like there wasn't this thing where you like try to work on a trick for months and get it on film. You just filmed what you did.
Yeah.
You learned your stuff before, and then when you went to that day to film, so all the videos back in the day that you watched, those were all filmed that day. So we didn't like take time to like work on tricks, and all the tricks that we did were filming were things that we knew how to do. We never filmed anything we didn't know how to do. It was no like wasting time of like, okay, maybe we'll get this today.
Oh wait, we'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah,
come back
we didn't do that.
Another month.
What you knew at that time, that's what you got, and that was in the video.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was more like just having fun and just kind of showcasing what we do.
Yeah.
So basically, what you'd see in the magazine, we're trying to put it in motion. So Stacy was like the leader of that, and then. Later on, other companies caught on and they started making their own videos as well. And as we produce videos, we try to make them better and better. And the skating got better and better as well.
Yeah.
We try to visit new spots, and you know, to the point to where it is now. I mean, it's crazy the technology, how fast it moves,
Yeah.
and to the phone. Like now people are filming video parts with their phones.
And it's thrown on Instagram, like social media. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah, when magazines were the only source of people knowing about what was going on in skateboarding, we were in California, and where the magazines were based, were the leaders, and producing tricks and progressing faster than Europe, because the guys in Europe wouldn't get Skateboarder magazine until 6 months later.
Wow.
So you imagine what we were doing 6 months after they would get a skateboarder, and be like, oh look,
and it's fresh to
cool,
them.
a rock and roll, and we're already on like backside airs
Or
and like
kickflip
inverts
airs.
and stuff, and they're like, wow, rock and roll, like sick, you know. So you know, their progression was a lot slower than
Yeah.
ours. Till now, I mean, you can film something one day, and then across the world they can see it in a minute or a
Yeah.
second, you know. So
It's crazy.
it's a lot different now, you know.
Yeah.
And when I started skating, there weren't a lot of tricks invented, you know.
I
So
mean, it was like more like carving, lean airs, roast beefs, stuff like that.
well, I mean, like I said, I started when there was like slaloming through cones, freestyle, kick turns in pools, maybe trying to get a grind in a pool, carving. I mean, there was no tricks really, you
Yeah.
know. I saw like the first frontside airs in Skateboarder magazine, where guys
Yeah.
going out of pools. So progression was really slow at that time, because, you know, you had to be an innovator. You had to really be creative and think it in your mind
Yeah.
before it actually happened.
Yeah.
So, you know, when it comes to skating progression, it's a lot harder to learn tricks that you've never seen before, or
Mhm.
even think that they're possible.
Yeah.
So that's where I started, you know.
Okay.
So like in 1980, when I had learned every single trick that was invented, I'm like, there's nothing more that you can do.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what else can you do on a
Yeah.
skateboard? Like you had to keep thinking, and there's always someone else, you know, thinking above and beyond, and what's already been done.
Yeah.
So now kids get better quicker because they see things that people are capable of doing, and when you see someone that can already do it, it gives you that encouragement. But for someone to say like, hey, I think I'm going to slide this handrail, and no one's ever done it before, you're like, there's no way you're going to do that.
Yeah.
And then like people keep telling you like, there's no way you're going to do it, and you almost think, like, man, maybe I can't do it.
Yeah.
You
or,
know?
or he's just going to do it anyways.
Right. Or you see a guy on a video sliding this rail, and a guy goes like, oh, it can be done.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it switch, or
Yeah.
I'm going to do it frontside.
Or I'm going to do a kickflip.
Yeah. So, you know, I started where there wasn't that very many tricks. So, you know, I've seen the progression of the sport like take off from a lot of real special skaters that have really took skating very seriously and very passionate, that they progressed the sport like really quickly and helped others to progress, like Rodney Mullen, Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
The first guy that I followed that helped me be passionate about skateboarding and show me that there was more to it was Eddie Alguera. You know, he was a guy that was way above and beyond everybody in the late 70s.
I loved his boards too.
Yeah, man. His
boards were amazing.
He was
And a
one of the
great
very
skater.
first progressive skateboarder
Yeah.
that was, you knew every contest he was going to have a new trick, because he would practice like right before that and not show anybody what he was doing. And the next contest would come, I'd look in the magazine, oh my God, a new trick. And then you'd see the sequence. So all the tricks that I learned when I was an amateur, I looked at sequences, and then I'd go to the skateboard park and spend all day by myself looking at the sequences and then learning tricks with nobody around.
That's awesome.
No cameras,
That's
no
awesome.
video, nobody. Just, I want to learn this trick so when the next contest comes around, I can have this trick in my bag. And that's how you're able to like be above and beyond everybody else, you know?
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then you have 9 covers, right? 9 covers.
9 covers for Thrasher magazines.
And
Pretty
then,
cool.
And then you got the very first one for Transworld.
First Transworld, yeah. And Mr. Frank Hawk, Tony Hawk's dad, took that photo.
Dude, that's awesome. So when we're going to see the 10th one?
Well, I'll have to call Thrasher about that one.
We're like, hey, 40 is coming up, man. What's up?
Yeah, I'll push that idea on them. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. But yeah, that'd be cool, man.
I mean, that's awesome. To
Yeah.
have like 9 covers, dude. You know, and the first one for Transworld. I mean, that's awesome to do. And
yeah, there's been a lot of cool accomplishments in skateboarding, and so I'm very proud of them.
And you have your own like half cabs. How did that all come about? Like have your own shoe for Vans, dude. That's awesome too.
Well, the shoe thing kind of came onto me because Vans approached me in 1988, and they asked me to be on the team. And I've been wearing Vans since I first started skating, like '77, but never got asked to be on the team.
Yeah.
So when we first got sponsored by Powell Peralta, Stacy would just give us shoes, and that's how we'd get our Vans, and that's how you'd see photos of us with Vans on.
Yeah.
But we were never on the team. And then there was a point in like the mid '80s where Vans wasn't giving shoes anymore, and I wasn't getting them from Stacy, so we kind of sourced out. And I'd wear Pumas, I'd wear Converse. We got some Nike Air Jordans that were given to Stacy. You can see those in the Chin video. And I rode the very first Airwalks that were ever around. And I think Vans started seeing all these pictures of us with different shoes on.
They got a little jealous about it.
I think they are like, we need some market share back in skateboarding.
Yeah.
So they got a phone call from Everett Rosecrans and said, hey, we want you to ride for Vans, and we're going to pay you.
You're
I'm
like,
like,
hell
wait,
yeah.
I'm going to get a check from you? Sign me up.
You said, sign me up,
Yeah.
I'll get paid? Hell
So I signed on with Vans in 1989. Yeah, 89. And then they approached me with a shoe deal. And that was all new as well. No one had a signature shoe back then.
Yeah.
I think
Because you were the second one, first one? Or?
Well, I think Nodis had a shoe, but it wasn't in a U.S. company. It was at Etnies when they were in France.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of around the same time. He may have been before me, but that was happening in Europe. You know, it wasn't anything that had, no one knew about it in the U.S. So I don't know. There's always a debate, which I'll give it to him, whatever. But I was the first U.S. brand skateboard,
That's
shoe.
awesome, dude.
And
I mean, it's the #1 selling shoe for Vans, like all cross board,
Yeah, I mean, it's done pretty well for them, So like in '89, when that first Caballero high top shoe came out, which was actually kind of based off the Air Jordan, I was really I like that style.
Yeah.
So it kind of had that look.
See, I never noticed that.
Yeah, if you look at it,
I'll have
it's
to look
got
at them
kind of the
again.
same lines,
Yeah,
And then skateboarding dropped big time in 1990 when it came to vert.
Yeah, it was like 90, like early 90s.
Yeah, early 90, 91, like no one could care less about
That's
vert.
when street started.
Street skating started coming up, and a lot of street skaters were wearing the full cab. And I noticed, I went to the skate park one day and I started seeing some of the pros come by and they were cutting them in half.
I was one of them.
You know?
I mean, I wasn't pro, but I was one of those.
Yeah, and they were duct taping them, and some of them had stickers to hold so the foam wouldn't come out.
I used to bleach mine too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
No, it was really cool. And then some guys even stitched them. And some of the early guys I remember was Frank Harada, I saw, and Chet Thomas. And then some of the SF guys were wearing them like that. So I started cutting my shoes in half, and I started duct taping them. And I would say by the second pair or third pair, I was like, why am I even doing this? Like call Vans. I'm like, I think we should make a new shoe. And I see this trend in my shoe. People are cutting them down. Let's cut them in half. And let's make. I was really a fan of the Air Jordan, so the Jordan like dunk thing. So I want to do kind of like a silhouette of me doing a half cab, and I go, let's call them half cabs, and let's put that silhouette, you know. And they agreed to it, And so in 1992, the half cab was born, and it's been a seller for Vans ever since then.
Yeah. For a long time. I mean, I still see kids rocking them.
Yeah, so we're
non-skaters rocking them too. You know.
Yeah. So next year we're going on 30 years.
Congratulations on that too.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
I have to get you something for that one.
So yeah. So next year is like. Well, actually, that's next year will be 30 years for the full cab.
Full cab.
In 3 years later will be 30 years for the half cab.
Are you gonna do anything special for the full cab? Anything new?
I don't know. I still have to talk to Vans about that.
Gotta do something something BR, something crazy.
We'll see.
And you do a lot of art too, huh? I noticed.
Yeah, I've been kind of transitioning. I mean, I started doing it a lot, like when I'd get hurt, and I didn't really have anything to do, so I had a lot of downtime, and I'd sit there and draw a lot and paint a little bit. But it wasn't until like 2005, I really wanted to get in that scene of that whole skate art culture that Gons and Ed Templeton and Lance Mountain and Nodis were a part of. So I started doing that art, and I got a bunch of sketchbooks and canvases and paintbrushes and just kind of went at it. I had the same approach with skating, just kind of like trying different things, different mediums. And so over the years, the skills have developed, and then to now it's like it's gradually gotten a lot better over the last few years, and a lot of people have taken notice. And so I've had a lot of opportunities, different companies approaching me to have my art on their products, which turned into like me traveling a lot. So I kind of travel more doing art than I do skating. I've gone, last year I traveled to Japan, China,
that's awesome.
Brazil, and Indonesia doing art.
Dude, that's awesome to think that. I mean, like from skateboarding to music to motocross to now you're doing art and traveling with that. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's all kind of the same family. I mean, if our skateboarding's always had an artistic element to it, with the graphics on the boards, people, it's very iconic where, people would collect boards or get boards because of the graphic, the art on it, so kind of goes hand in hand, the music, the art, skating, it's just all kind of the same family.
And you just had an art show called Stoked. Well, how was that? How was last night?
That was last night.
Who was all in it?
Well, it was a gentleman named Scotty Roller from Texas put together this art show called Stoked.
Okay.
Which had to do with surfing, skating, BMX, and he got a group of guys. Tobin Yellen was in it. Steve Alba, myself.
Okay. Some good artists.
There's a bunch of other different artists. And it was in Long Beach at a place called Made by Millworks, a nice little boutique with a gallery in the back. I'd never been there. So it was a good turnout and a fun event, and it was well, produced, so I was stoked to be a part of it. And so I try to do as much as I can in the art world and try to go to a bunch of shows and participate in as much, because one thing kind of leads to another, kind of like saying yes, to this interview, I know I make connections here and there, and by being participating and being a part of things, you never know where it's going to lead to, who you're going to meet, so I kind of just try to make myself available, even though I have a really heavy schedule.
We appreciate it, being on the show and everything.
No, and I try to balance it out, and I got so many things to promote that I try to like micromanage, like, okay, now I'm going to post this, and I'm going to be here, because a lot of people follow me on social media. That's the only way to know what I'm doing or where I'm going to be at, or any kind of special event. So I try to, I manage my own account. So like I look at every comment, I like every comment, so I let people know that I appreciate them spending the time to do that. Like I want to be social and interact with people.
Yeah, see, that's a great way, because people love that. Because there's a lot of not just skaters, but like Hollywood stars and stuff that don't interact with their viewers or their followers or whatever, and a lot of people are like, they get hurt. No, I don't want to say get hurt about it, but they get upset about it. Like, oh, this guy I'm not going to follow this guy anymore because he's not going to respond to me, you know. But if you're responding to them, that's like a great thing, you know.
Well, but it's a job in itself,
Yeah.
being social on social media. I mean, it takes a lot of time,
Yeah.
you know, to look at your phone and engage with somebody.
Yeah.
But I try to keep it positive. I try to keep, you know, the negativity down. I want to
Yeah.
keep it nice and wholesome and uplifting, you know, so that's why I have to micromanage it.
You're doing
you
an
know,
awesome
if I
job.
find anything negative, I delete it.
Yeah.
If people are super rude, they get blocked.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't ask questions.
Hey,
I don't
do
have
the same
time.
thing too.
But it took me a while to learn that.
Yeah.
You know, when all those first social media things came out, I mean, I would battle with people
That's the worst thing
for
to do.
hours, and like, I wouldn't get anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I learned really, really quick, like, it's a waste of time.
No, it is.
You know, so you can't argue a point or an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
People they have it, and they're gonna keep it no matter what.
Yep.
Especially if you're strong-willed and you're stubborn,
Yeah.
like me. So I don't even go there anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so a cool thing happened to me one time is I blocked someone, and some guy came up to me at a skate park, and he said, "Hey, I just want to let you know that I said something rude on your thing, and you blocked me, and I want to say sorry."
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
I said, "Hey, what's your name on there?" And he told me, and I looked it up, and I unblocked.
That's awesome.
But out of like the hundreds of people that I've blocked, only one have come up to
Dude,
me.
that's awesome to
I mean,
know.
it takes a lot of courage to
Yeah.
to admit a fault,
Yeah.
you know. And the fact that he did that, you know, I forgave him right on the spot, and
Yeah,
I said,
that's
"Hey,
awesome.
you know, you're back on."
That's awesome.
You know, and so I don't deal with that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So if people get blocked by me and they don't understand why, it's because they said something rude.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't have time for that.
No, I agree with you. I 200%. That's awesome that he came up to you and that said that to you.
No, it was amazing.
You know, because
Yeah.
most people don't even do that. They're just whatever, you know.
Yeah, you know, and you got to respect people's homes. You know, my page is my home.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people read it, and even people like that would stick up for me
Mhm.
and get on my side and start having arguments with other people.
Yeah.
I'd erase their comments too.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't need that gang mentality.
Mm-mm.
You know, that's the one thing I don't like about social media, is it's very gang oriented and people attack people.
Yeah.
The first time I noticed that stuff was YouTube. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'd see like a video of a kitten playing with something, and then you start reading the comments, and when you get down to 300, there's these people fighting and cussing at each
Oh, yeah.
other, and we're like, how did that start from a little thing playing with a kitten playing with a little toy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How did that start from there all the way down to here?
I mean,
I
I'm
don't get it.
a Steelers fan, so I'm always reading the comments on their Steelers things, and I see it all the time, and it's like, oh, I'm done.
Oh, I don't go on the Thrasher forum. I don't go on the Slap forum, or if there is even one. I don't go on any of those forums.
Yeah.
I'm in hot rod forums, art forums, anything that people can just
Be negative.
be their negative and say
Yeah.
their opinion. They're terrible.
No, they
you
are.
know,
They
because people
definitely
get
are.
mad.
You know? I get on the comments. I get done out like 10, and I'm just like, you know, I'm done. I'm over it. I don't
Yeah,
want to
so-
hear. I don't want to hear about this stuff. You know?
Yeah, my page is an open forum to
Mhm.
post your opinion.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like what I do, I mean,
Yeah.
that's fine. You can
There's the
private
door.
message me.
you can
know?
write a message, or there's the door.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, and then people kind of they have this like image of you, and they kind of want you to be a certain way.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, can you just stick to skating? I don't want to see food on your page. I don't want to see anything about Christianity or Jesus. I don't want to see like motorcycle stuff.
But
You
that's
know
you.
what I mean?
But that's you.
Yeah. So whatever I post on the internet is pretty much who I am.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna get all of me,
Exactly.
so you have to accept all of me or
Exactly.
unfollow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Well, one of our filmers, Baby Case, went out to the Stokes, so we're gonna check out this edit of the Stokes.
Awesome, man.
Let's check this out. All right, Cal. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Appreciate it. Sorry I talked so much.
No. You did good, dude. No, it was good. It was a good interview. You did good. Thank you. Thank you. You did good. Hey, I want to thank everybody coming out here to True Skateboard Mag Live Show, episode 11. I want to thank Surfside Deli for allowing us to have here, Keen Ramps, Steve Caballero, DJ Martin, John Shell, Tyron, Olson. I want to thank everybody coming out. Check out Cali Conscious right here.